Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. Today's video is not about anti-aging, it's not about makeup, it's about menopause. And I know you guys have been waiting for me to make a menopause video for quite a while, but I don't feel like an expert in the subject. And as a matter of fact, I hadn't been going through it mainly until just recently. So now I have had some symptoms, and can I just put it out there, as the title says, menopause sucks. I hate it. Last time I did a video on menopause, I just didn't really know too much about it, and I just wanted to start a conversation, and the outpouring of comments from people just blew my mind. It was unbelievable how many symptoms there were that I didn't know about, how much people suffer with this. But where menopause is concerned, it is so complicated, and there are so many different symptoms that you may or may not have. There are different solutions that you may or may not want to do, that I am completely unqualified to offer any advice to anyone else. So my advice, which I took, was to go and see my doctor. So go to see your own personal doctor. Make sure that you have a conversation with them about what you're going through. They can run a blood test to see where your hormone levels are. That will show them how far you are along in the process. And then you can consult with them about how much your life is being affected by the symptoms of menopause and whether or not there's something that you can do about it, and if it's something that you want to do about it. Okay, so just as a point of information, I just thought I'd read for you the common symptoms of menopause. There are the irregular and skipped periods, insomnia, mood swings, fatigue, depression, irritability, racing heart, headaches, joint and muscle aches and pains, changes in libido, vaginal dryness, skin dryness, bladder control problems, and my God, did this not even mention hot flashes? I can't believe it. It didn't even mention hot flashes. Like, for me, that's the worst part, because they are what wake me up during the night and keep me awake during the night. And last night was no exception. I had a couple of hot flashes during the night. I couldn't get back to sleep. So I'm going on about 3 hours of sleep here. And it just is awful, because then that contributes to the irritability, the mood swings, the anxiety, the depression, the headache. So I had always heard that if you have a family history of breast cancer, that you definitely should not go on hormone replacement therapy, otherwise known as HRT, because it could cause breast cancer or increase your risk of breast cancer. But what I didn't realize was that going through menopause, having less estrogen in your system, can cause health risks of its own. After menopause, women are more likely to have osteoporosis, which is a weakening of the bones, heart disease, a poorly working bladder and bowel, which we just heard about, greater risk of Alzheimer's, poor skin elasticity, including wrinkling, yes, we know that, poor muscle power and tone, and some weakening in vision, such as cataracts. And so replacing your estrogen isn't necessarily always a bad thing, and that's why you have to go and talk to your doctor about your specific health, your risk factors on from your family, and from the way that your body is made. And that's why you have to do that, to figure out what you're going to do about it. Is that I did go to see my gynecologist last week, and we had a lovely chat. We had a lovely chat about menopause and what can be done about it. I explained my family kind of history. So the net was putting me on hormone replacement therapy was probably something that I could do, and that I did elect to do. And so instead of putting me on like a low-dose birth control pill, what she gave me is an estrogen and progesterone patch. So now I have this patch that I wear, and I have to change it once a week. She started me at a very, very low dose. Her outside recommendation of how long you should be on it is like 3 to 5 years. So I am going to do it, but it's a choice that everybody needs to make individually. Some people don't want to do it. Some people are interested in these bioidentical hormones, but I don't know about that. I am not an expert. I have watched the Menopause Barbie here on YouTube. She is a doctor, and she will tell you about how to get more estrogen from your foods. She did a whole video explaining about what bioidentical hormones is and how they hit different receptors, and it was fascinating, but it's not my bailiwick, and so I would never want to try to advise you here. So number one, seek the advice of your doctor. Number two, talk to other women. I mean, I'm sure your friends are going through it too, and we can help each other get through this. The other thing that I did want to bring up, though, is when I went to get my hormone patches, I was shocked when the CVS person came back and asked me for $90 to pay for my hormone replacement therapy. And I was like, what? Insurance doesn't cover this? And she was like, oh, no, sorry. And I was like, oh, well, that stinks. I mean, because 50% of the population's female, and you'd think that this would be covered, but no, of course not. I'm sure the insurance thinks it's some kind of a vanity thing. But then, of course, an idea popped into my brain, and I was like, wait a minute, is Viagra covered? And what do you think the answer was? She goes, yes. And I'm like, of course it is. So, you know what? I don't like to get political on my channel, but I think we need to start a letter writing campaign to the insurance companies, to the, the politicians, and say, look, if men can have a recreational drug covered, then women should have something so important like this covered if they choose to use it. So no matter what route you take, whether you go in for, the natural remedies or the bioidentical or the straight-on hormone replacement, I hope that you get it figured out, that you don't suffer alone, and that especially you don't suffer. All right, everybody, have a great day and take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.